I remember my parents when I was perhaps 10, 11. Let's say that time that you start becoming somehow independent. Independent in terms of not depending too much on your parents. Having them telling me, Eric, if you are, let's say, if you're available or if you can help your grandma, your sister, or whoever who's around you, you can do it. And actually, you should do it. Well, guys, so today I wanted to start this video with this mini story because, of course, I was born and raised with that mindset. If you're available, if you can help, go help people, go the extra mile, be that member of our society that could be there for everyone, to be a shoulder to cry for many people. I mean, that person with some kind of expertise to help others and so on, which is good. Of course, guys, I don't want you to misinterpret my message. But of course, we're going to talk about the importance of not being too available. Anyway, guys, I would like to focus on how to do it in a genuine way for you to make the most of that experience and not coming from that position of, oh, I'm the best one and now I'm gonna pretend I'm not available for people to think that I'm the best person in the world. No, no, no. So this is far from the expectation and definitely the goal of today's video. If it's the first video that you're watching, my name is Eric. I love talking about languages, which is my specialty, but at the same time, guys, I'm a tremendous lover of personal development, psychology, and I'm an avid reader. So I'm always reading about ways for us humans to become more competent at work, more competent with languages, more competent at any kind of thing we plan to excel at any particular time. Well, so guys, I would like to get started with this video by saying that I was this kind of friend that everyone loves in a way. Anyway, I would like to explain that love in a better way later. The thing is that when my friends send me a message through WhatsApp or Instagram or, well, previously on Facebook, I was this kind of person that was all the time saying like, oh yes, don't worry, so I have some time, I mean, to talk to you, so we can definitely have a word on the topic you want, and maybe we can find a solution and so on. So, which is good. I mean, most of my friends and family members were all the time grateful for my time, and they were saying, Eric, thank you so much for listening to me. I needed a person to talk to. I needed a different perspective, which is good. Okay. But on the other hand, we are supposed not to be so naive, because there are people who can come to our lives asking for our attention, and Eric, I have this problem, or I need your attention somehow, or I need you to pay. I need you to have a conversation with me because I'm having this burden, this emotional burden, this professional burden, and so on, or even this economic burden to such an extent, guys, and I'm not very proud of what I'm saying, but in the past, I lent money to people who haven't or who didn't pay me back. Well, anyway, I had that sensation of, well, so guys, I believe in God, despite your, let's say, your belief system. So I thought like, well, God is gonna retribute that in some way, maybe with some, let's say, with some clients, or maybe with something in particular. Something will help me in order to have that money or that time paid back. Perfect. Anyway, guys, I was having a really interesting conversation with my uncle, who's a philosopher and also a priest, curiously. And, well, before getting into the conversation with my uncle, I would like to tell you guys that I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but the thing is that any kind of relationship, I'm telling you about friends, with my family, with ex-girlfriends and so on, I always had that sensation of catching, or pursuing people, like, oh, like I needed to be that friend that is all the time supporting them, and but I always felt that I was chasing people. Like, oh, that person haven't called me in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so let's chase him or let's chase her just to have a conversation. And this girl I met at a bar haven't reached me, so let's call her and let's try to find a way to meet and so on. So I was always looking for people, in that way, like chasing them. Like, oh, I love you so much, you are my best friend. So I was all the time giving words of affirmations or words of affirmation and acceptance to other people, which is okay. So I thought that that was the way you were supposed to experience relationships in general. Also work, for example, with my clients, I was all the time, well, thank you so much for accepting me, or thank you so much for being my client, so welcome. And in a way, guys, that approach, I mean, like, if we start watching videos from my first, let's say, well, one of my first videos, you could notice that I was maybe so excited, I mean, to please you, I mean, for you to feel welcome, which is, I mean, the purpose of the channel. Of course, I don't want you to have a bad time with me, of course, because, I mean, YouTube has 3,000 options, I mean, for you, well, 3 million, whatever number, I mean, of videos that you can watch. But I shouldn't place you guys as my pedestal. And that was something that I was making as a big mistake in my life, because I mean, whenever I wanted to talk in front of the camera, I was like, oh, but what if they don't connect with me, or what if they don't watch the videos, or maybe I need to come up with something very enthusiastic at the beginning of the video, because in that way they will feel represented or something like that. But not really. I mean, and this is, guys, the point that I would like to reach. Okay, so I was having this conversation with my uncle, and well, we're having this talk about self-esteem and philosophy, and well, we talked we talked a little bit about Nietzsche and Camus, and also a little bit about Kant and so on. So anyway, so there was the moment that I expressed that I was feeling that I was chasing people. And I never had that conversation before, or I hadn't had that conversation with him beforehand. And he said, Eric, I would like to recommend you this part of the scripture, which goes like this. I'm going to paraphrase it, which goes like this. In order for you, I mean, to love others, you are supposed to love yourself, right? And in the same way you love others, God will love you. Something of the kind. But well, maybe my paraphrasing or my paraphrase version is not the best one. But I mean, I'm going to use my own words. I think it's better. So, God loves you, right? And with that love, you are supposed to retribute it. I mean, you are supposed to use that love, because if you give yourself that love, it would be easier for you to share that love with others. Wait a second. So maybe you're thinking, Eric, but I don't believe in God. I don't believe in religion. Perfect. So, because I really want, guys, I mean, to see this, let's say this talk, as something philosophical rather than religious, right? And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, for example, if I don't have money or if I don't have energy, how am I supposed to give that to other person? Well, so I could do it, but maybe if we talked about money, that would mean that maybe I would I would jeopardize my savings. And of course, guys, with my savings, I want to travel, I want to buy good clothes, or I want, I don't know, I want to go to a cool restaurant with a girl, or something of the kind. I mean, there are many possibilities in which I could spend that money or invest that money, Also, guys, I remember I remember a particular time that I was feeling a little bit under the weather and a little bit sad and whatever. But friends were calling me to, to ask for some opinions and some comments. And I remember guys listening to them and, come on, this person again, calling me and I'm tired. I just want to sleep. So once my uncle told me about the principle that was far from, I haven't heard, or maybe I read that, or maybe I listened to that when I was younger, but I didn't pay close attention to that. This is why, guys, whenever we help people or we want to give attention to people, this is the reason why we feel disappointed, because maybe we are not running, or maybe we're not abundant at any particular time, and then a person comes to us and says, oh, I need some money because I'm having this problem, this economic problem, or maybe you get to know this girl or this man, well, in my case, this girl, and you say like, well, I will do everything within my power, to convince her that I'm a good guy. So then you start running after this person and saying, well, I'm a good person because I never cheated on someone, and I just study languages and I have good economy and blah 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 blah. But if the person is not paying attention to you or is not being reciprocal, then you feel sad and you feel disappointed, because at the end of the day, well, it's not worth the effort. Because the energy that you're supposed to use for yourself, to give that approval to yourself without being arrogant, that is an extreme I would like to talk about. Maybe you can start saying, well, so firstly, I remember my uncle told me about this example. Whenever you receive your salary, pay yourself first and think about the bills that you're supposed to pay for, also your savings, also if you want to buy a really good jacket or pair of shoes, or if you want to go to that restaurant, whatever, or if you want to have a coffee. So prepare your budget for that. In case you have some extra money, go for it. So you can help your friends, you can help your family, and it's okay. Same thing, guys, with our love and energy. Then you may be thinking, Eric, but then you're thinking, or maybe what you're trying to share with us is that we need to be selfish. Not exactly. But if God is giving you that possibility of waking up, I don't know, let's say at 7 a.m. and you have, let's say, 10 hours in which you can go to work and you can study and whatever. Let's call them like 10 functional hours, because being honest, even if you are like a high achiever and etc., there's a moment in, let's say, on your day that you really need to dedicate yourself to be lazy and to look at the ceiling or go to social networks, and it's okay. We're humans. We're not robots. But if we can, for example, if we have the chance, to leave these 10 hours, plenty, with our concentration and so on, why not focusing on ourselves? I'm gonna give you one example. I remember, guys, a couple of months ago, I even recorded a video on that. I remember, guys, I got to know a girl. And the girl was on my mind all the time, and I was with my clients and so on. And I remember thinking about her, like, oh, what would she be doing? And maybe does she like me, or do I need to invite her to a restaurant? And my brain was kidnapped. I was using that term at the time. Like, bro, I was feeling exactly like that. I was feeling like, bro, I feel my brain is kidnapped, because with these clients, they are my present. They are here. They are here with me, but I'm thinking about something external, something. Of course, this girl could be amazing and etc. But I'm here and I need to be extremely competent. So, what I was doing, if we use the same metaphor that my uncle talked about, God was giving me, God or the universe, or you name it as you wish, it was giving me that opportunity of having 10 hours to work and study. So I was wasting that energy and that concentration and that power to think about a person who was maybe thinking about Netflix or thinking about, I don't know, things at her work. I don't know, you know. But the thing is that unfortunately I was not giving myself the attention to be really concentrated on what I was supposed to do to perform very well, to be present for my clients. And thus my clients felt that, because we are not stupid as humans. We feel when a person is really paying attention to ourselves. So, guys, boom. What was the moment in which, let's say, this lesson got home? And also, guys, I would like to give you some background because I don't like just to be, let's say, like anecdotal. Do I say that? There's this book that I'm reading that is called The Expectation Effect. Fantastic, guys. It's a really, really good book by David Robson. He also has a book called The Intelligence Trap. Quite recommended. And, he was talking about, the placebo effect and also how some medicines and also some products are advertised, right? So what happens? Unconsciously, we humans, we are, how can I say it? We're terrible as humans. So we humans, we are very questionable beings, let's say. Me first. So the thing is that, I don't know, guys, if it ever happened to you that, for example, I don't know, your parents told you when you were a kid or something like that, like, oh, okay, there are these shoes which are ABC brand, and then you have these Adidas. So which ones do you prefer, or which ones are more appealing to you? Of course, if you were, let's say, yeah, like most of us will choose the Adidas shoes, because they represent something more in terms of quality, in terms of advertising, in terms even to identity. This is why, for example, people love iPhones, or iProducts, iPod and iCloud. Well, guys, I had just an iPad like a couple of years ago, but I'm not like really into Apple. Well, maybe I could change my mind. Apple, if you want to to sponsor me, here I am. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but the thing, guys, is that um, sometimes we humans we are a brand, But I want to be careful because I don't want to say that you are a product, But maybe you can start advertising yourself in a better way. Wait a second, okay? What I'm saying is not that you become a jerk or a person who is cold with others, but maybe you can start limiting your product or service. What I mean by that? For example, I used to, for instance, guys, I was working, and once I received a message on WhatsApp or Instagram, I was the one who replied immediately, like, oh, yes, of course. But if you start doing that, especially in romantic relationships or even professional situations, people start taking you for granted. And there's nothing worse than a person being taken for granted. And guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I had two girlfriends that I took for granted because they were replying all the time to me. And I was immature, of course. I was very immature at the time. And now, not that I regret, because I need to be merciful with myself, and I learned the lesson, and I discover, like, time sometimes need to go by for you to understand that, you were a jerk, and it's okay. Like, lesson learned. Well, lesson learned, and you if it's possible, I mean, to talk to these people again and say sorry and whatever. But well, in my case, it's not possible. But I always talk to God. You know, I always say God, or I pray to God that, well, that they feel better. You know, or I always say sorry, God. So you gave me those opportunities. I didn't, let's say, take them in a good way, and well, so I was so silly at the time. Maybe I was so immature. But the thing is that maybe if you can start advertising yourself in a way that you can show that you are not all the time available, it's amazing. But well, guys, I wanted to clarify the part of not being arrogant. Because if you're just going to be the whole day, I don't know, like looking at the ceiling or just feeling like, oh, I'm so sophisticated because I don't use social networks and so on. That's not the point. So what I found out, guys, is that in the meantime, I'm making myself unavailable. I definitely need to use that time to improve my skills. I mean, to, for example, to pay attention to my YouTube channel, to my financial status, to my languages, to read books, to go to the gym, and so on. And also, guys, that's going to make you even more interesting for others, because if you're all the time posting on Instagram like, oh, this is my favorite song, or this is blah 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 blah, firstly, people will think like, oh, come on, this guy is like showing off, or is trying to be like an attention seeker. And second of all, then you will have the chance, I mean, if you're focusing on your career or focusing on developing your own skills and so on, for people to say, oh, or much better, for you to share with people what you're working on at the moment. You can say, well, so I've been working on this project, I've been working on this YouTube channel, in which I feel that I've improved a lot my communication skills, and so on and so on and so on. And people will feel like, wow, it's amazing. That's right. Also, guys, and this is the most important point in my view, is to love yourself. What I mean by loving yourself, and I also ask my uncle, because I felt like, well, I can love myself, but I don't want to become like these kind of people, like, oh, I'm the best one, you know. So I always was afraid of that, or I'm afraid of that, you know. But maybe we can take that love from going to sleep early, you know, because sometimes we sabotage ourselves by, let's say, watching videos on YouTube, or let's say watching reels on Instagram and so on. So, but well, maybe we can use that time, I mean, for us to go to sleep, maybe to have a meditation time, maybe to write about our dreams, well, you name it, to read a book, you know, whatever you want. Maybe something, guys, that I feel that is it is excellent. I mean, it's an excellent representation of love for me, Eric, is to prepare the clothes that I'm going to wear for the next day. Because I don't know, guys, maybe it brings me a memory from my mom. I mean, my mom is still alive, guys. But it reminds me of my mom ironing the clothes, I mean, for me to go to school when I was like 6 or 7 years, you know. Well, once I was like 11, my mom said like, okay, it's enough. So now you you take care of your own clothing or uniforms, like whatever. So the thing is that when I do that, I feel that love, like, oh, I'm gonna wear this T-shirt, and I'm gonna wear this pair of jeans and so on, and you even start visualizing what you want to happen. You know, like, oh, tomorrow I'm having this conversation with this person, so I'm seeing myself, I mean, more confident because I love black, and maybe it's a color that makes me feel elegant and, let's say, very sober, and etc. and blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, that's an excellent demonstration of love. Or for instance, and the most important, guys, is to stop chasing people. So instead of chasing people, I'm thinking like, oh, is this girl going to call me, or am I really going to a restaurant with her, or is this friend really liking my post, and is this friend really thinking that I'm smart and whatever. So instead of thinking that way, you can start focusing on, okay, so do I feel like really accepted? I mean, do I really feel that I'm, so to start having this conversation with yourself. And for example, guys, today I had a conversation with a client, and beforehand, before that conversation with my uncle, uh, I always thought like, oh, whenever having professional conversations, I was all the time thinking like, oh, is the client happy with me? But oh, maybe my client is raising his or her eyebrows. Maybe he or she is not enjoying the conversation, or whatever, whatever. But that's so stupid because it's something that you cannot control, and if you try to control it, then it will sound fake or something. Guys, that used to happen to me was that I started feeling pushy, with my clients. I mean, like, oh, but come on, be more optimistic and so on. So I even remember my voice was more acute, like, oh, come on, let's go, and etc. and let's do it. But at the end of the day, if I mean, if we love ourselves, we make people more comfortable to be with us. And I do believe, guys, and I want to finish the video right here. I do believe that this is my new challenge. I want to love myself in a positive way, which means, to work on my skills, to improve, for example, the setting of my podcast, well, video podcast, you name it. Maybe to have like a lamp behind me, or, to wear even cooler clothes. So, and that's an excellent way to show love. Something, guys, that you will criticize is, I have that interrupter. I don't like the way it looks. For instance, that's an excellent way for me to show love to myself. Maybe tomorrow I need to clean it, because then you will thinking like Eric. You will be thinking like Eric. So you have like a really cool mic. You have a good camera, good audio system, but well, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look professional. So yeah, and I could use that energy instead of chasing people. Once we're feeling satisfied with ourselves, for example, once I fixed that interrupter, once I had, let's say, like a really good lamp and etc. Once I have worked on these self-love aspects that I've been considering, then I could say, well, here I am. How can I help you? And people will come in a more natural way. You will be more grounded, you will be more patient, and you will be truly, truly happy to help. Because if you're feeling satisfied, then you're able to share the same love you're giving yourself to others. Guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for having watched this video. Hope you like it. Hope you love yourselves more and more, which is a challenge. Every single day we are challenged in order to love ourselves and, well, enjoy this life. Life is so short. Enjoy it.